Hi, it's Thad with Willoway. Today we want to talk a little bit about some of our house covering we're doing, getting preparation for putting everything to bed at the nursery. Behind me here is one of our houses. We got a white 1-year film over top of this right now. What we'll do is that's kind of for spring. We do cover it with what's called bunker plastic or panda plastic. So that's where it's black on the inside and the outside's white. The reason we do that is we have certain plants we keep in these houses where they'll come out very early spring, like the cherries, prunus. So those we want to keep and hold them back so they don't flower too early. Being under the plastic, it will build a little heat. We're kind of using the reverse effect here is we actually open these up in the spring, doorways, let the cold come in at night, and then we close them up during the day to trap that cold inside. We also have a couple little things we do on the inside. One is we have 2 temperature sensors, one above the plastic we pull over the plants and one underneath, and we see the temperature differentiation. So that helps us in 2 ways. Helps us kind of get through the coldest part of the winter, but then it kind of flips back around a little bit and actually works really well to hold them back from blooming too early and coming out. Now we do have a point in the spring where we have to pull everything off and they're just kind of coming because they want to get going. But so that's a little bit of what we do with some of the covering. So some of the other key things that we do on the outside house plastics, we'll put these barriers here, strapping basically. You notice they're a little bit tighter. What they do is they tend to take some of the extra flap out of the plastic on the house. So it takes some of the slack out of it and it helps hold so it doesn't beat itself in the winds and possibly tear the house plastic. You have to be careful about how tight we get them, because if you get them too tight on these rails, they will split on that as well. So you have to be kind of a little bit careful when you're pulling them down, but this really helps to ensure that we have good weather and the plastic stays on all winter. All right, we've kind of moved inside. Some of the other stuff we do for preparation for winter, our Japanese maples, we use an interior plastic over the top. Basically it's recycled from the outside plastic. We water these in real heavy, and then we pull, just before covering, we pull this plastic back over and create like a tent inside. What that does is help create more moisture in there and helps with just a little bit of holding in some of the ground heat for the winter. So there's a slight thermal difference between the outside here and underneath this plastic I was talking about earlier, what we do with the prunus or the cherries. So this is another technique that we use here at Willoway. Hi, kind of following up with a little more of our overwintering and preparation for it. One of the things is the green giant plicatas. We really want to make sure, obviously, we're grading out these 25 gallons or 84 inches. Really nice plants, but we got to make sure that we get them really dosed up with water going into winter. So we run water pretty continuously right up until we do blowout at the nursery on all our evergreens. The other thing that we do is we come through and spray transfilm. It's anti-desiccant. Basically, it kind of aligns with like putting a coating on the plant to help reduce the water loss through the gas exchange pores. And so that will help us get a little bit better, make sure we come through the winter without any kind of burn on them at all in a pot, because they're limited. And we also keep these in sockets in the winter. The ones we don't have in sockets, we usually put in houses where we have winter water available for them.